Air just dropped a big bomb on us with a glyphosate shortage. Okay, so what does this have to do with you? How does it affect you? I'm about to explain. Bear with me. All right, glyphosate is the primary ingredient in Roundup, right? So Roundup, if you don't know, is a weed killer. Here's the big thing. Here's how glyphosate is used. It's used in the agricultural world, right? Because what happens is basically Monsanto makes a GMO corn variant, right? They make this GMO corn that is resistant to glyphosate, so that we can pour the glyphosate on it and it kills the weeds around it. So basically, what we do is we plant these whole fields of GMO corn, then we spray it down with glyphosate, and it kills all the weeds around there, but it doesn't kill the corn. This is one of our big problems here on the farm, is that we don't agree with this because, for one, I don't really want to eat something that's genetically modified like that I don't really understand, because that's a different genetic modification. That's not, hey, a hybrid plant, years of selective breeding or anything like that, which is a much more natural method. This is, we designed this in a lab to withstand glyphosate. It's a very, anyways, just not something I want to put in my body. And then we are also ingesting the glyphosate, which is also bad. It's getting washed into our streams. There's estimates on how much of it is actually in the air, that's atomized in the air, that it would take 50 years for what's there now to actually degrade back to a pre-glyphosate level. So it's just stuff that I don't want in my body. Basically, it's an antibiotic. For those of you that don't know, that's effectively how it works and what it was originally designed for. And so we're just dosing this antibiotic, and that's part of what the theories are on how we're getting disease-resistant parasites and stuff like that don't respond how they would have traditionally responded to antibiotics. Part of it is believed because there's so much glyphosate in our water supply, in our air, in the food that we eat, that it's contributing to the, I'm sorry, I got a message there, contributing to the disease or parasite, or antibiotic resistance. Thank you. Sorry, couldn't get that out. Contributing to the antibiotic resistance that we're seeing inside like the medical community today, right? So here's what matters to you. In 2021, there was a shortage of glyphosate. So that shortage has not been resolved yet. Now, Bayer just posted a note to all their farmers, or everybody that receives glyphosate from them, and they said, due to a third-party ingredient issue, and they said it was an issue at a manufacturing plant, didn't state specifically what it was, but due to this issue, that there's going to be a shortage of glyphosate, and it's going to be about a 3-month lag, which puts us past the planting season, right? So it's going to cause a lot of issues, specifically for traditional farmers. Now, non-GMO farmers, organic farmers that don't use this, we're not going to feel a thing. Makes absolutely no bit of difference to us. It is going to affect us at the store, at the food prices. We're going to see food prices go up because there's going to be less corn, because there's simply less of that glyphosate on the market for traditional growers, which means they're going to have to grow something either different, or they're going to have to let their fields be bare, or they're going to have to grow them and allow the weeds to come through as well. Which is going to lower the production. So no matter which way around it lowers the production. This is why I think that we should get off of our glyphosate dependence and move into a more natural approach to farming. But that's the discussion we have every day on this channel. We don't need to do it for this video. So bottom line is that things that use this, right? So corn being a big product, but you don't realize how much stuff is made with corn when you talk about different types of bread, tortillas, bakery items, ethanol for your gasoline, the cattle feed that you're using, all this stuff. So if the cattle feed goes up, the price of the cattle feed goes up because they can't get as much cattle feed because there's no glyphosate. The price of the beef goes up at the end market. So, guys, I'm sorry, I cannot get rid of this stupid cough from when I was sick. So, anyways, so everything is related to this corn in some way, shape, or form, right? All the beef, pork, and poultry products we eat here in the U.S. are going to be tied to that. Our gasoline prices are tied to that. Our prices of, again, baked goods that use corn as a flour-like substance, cornbread being the most obvious one, tortillas, all of that is going to go up in price. And so this is not necessarily telling you to stock up on these things, because probably shouldn't be eating as much of that stuff as we do anyways. But just realize, if you have not started sourcing local foods that are not produced in this manner, now would be a good time to do so. Now would be a time to start getting with those local produce shops. I know we have one here in town, which they don't use all heirloom stuff, which they did, but they don't. But they still actually produce very good products. They're chemical free. They are just locally grown, and so that's where we buy most of our produce. So if you don't have a place like that, now's the time to start looking. If you were debating about growing some of your own, wanted to get into a greenhouse, again, now's the time to get that set up. Great year to set up for a greenhouse. We'll have our high tunnel going in here in the next few months. We'll be showing you how we get that set up. That is a high tunnel for an orchard rather than a greenhouse, so a little bit different in the way that we're going to be doing that. But that's going to be really cool. Cannot wait to get that going. We have now 3 plants. Thank you to Elena and Fabian for providing us with a Persian lime tree. But we do have some dragon fruit that's also going to be going in there. So have some fruit that's going in our greenhouse that we'll be getting. So we're trying to get things started growing here this year. We hopefully get the greenhouse in this summer, and then we'll be planting. So really excited to have that going on here, guys. Make sure that you have liked and subscribed to the channel if you have not already done so, and check us out on Facebook. Manolyn's got the Instagram going too, so lots of farm stuff going up there. So bottom line is we will be showing you all how to do all this. The next big series coming up is our well house series. We'll be showing how we're getting our well installed. The well is drilled. I've got some footage from the well driller even, and so we're going to be doing all that. It's probably you're looking at like a 3-part series, but it may just do one long video to show you all how to do it. Kind of depends on how it starts flowing together once I get to editing. So thanks again, guys. We'll talk to y'all later.